Is debt your friend? Is it possible to use debt to build wealth tax-free? Well, that seems to be the consensus of a lot of people here on the internet. And luckily, well, maybe unfortunately, we don't know yet, one of our community members sent me a video where somebody is explaining how to use debt as a tool to make money tax-free. So after watching the video, I did have a few questions, but let's watch together and I'll share my thoughts afterwards, shall we?
When you get to where you make $1 million for a few years in a row, debt becomes your friend because interest is tax deductible. And if what you pay on interest, you don't pay income taxes. So think about this. If I make $1 million, I'm gonna spend it. I make $1 million. I owe 43% income tax on that roughly. That's $430,000, right? But if I borrow $1 million at 7% fucking interest rate, at 10, 12, 20 fucking percent interest rate, it doesn't fucking matter. 20, I'm still half of what taxes are. Yep. You follow me? Mm-hmm. So if I borrow that money, then I'm offset. I'm never showing a profit because everything I do is borrow it, and it all goes back to pay the fucking bank on my behalf. I'm not touching it. It's going back to pay the bank, to where the bank gives me a line of credit I'm constantly borrowing on, and all my shit goes back to pay the bank and supposed to paying me. So you play this game of debt where now all of a sudden I'm in debt like a motherfucker, but I'm margining 7% for my expenses versus fucking 43 for taxes. You see the difference there?
That's crazy.
And again, it's a mathematical game. And so what I've learned over the years is two things. Paperwork fixes everything. So you get to learn this paperwork game and you start saying, oh, these companies, that's why you don't hear Apple has $1 trillion in cash. You hear that they have lines at Goldman Sachs and shit. So I start watching that. It's like, wow, you can really leverage debt as a tool. You really can.
Well, first of all, I should have apologized and warned you up front. This one had a lot of profanity in it. Normally, my videos, I do not use profanity, so my apologies. Well, first of all, what he's saying is definitely true. Borrowed money is not taxable money. Why? Because you have to pay it back. So the questions that come to mind when I watch this video, and these are questions that I want you to consider when maybe trying to implement such a strategy. One, he says he can write off the interest on his taxes. Well, if there is no taxable income because all the money is borrowed, what are we writing the interest off against? Okay, that's the first thing that came to my mind. Second thing that came to mind, or should I say, this is a statement I'm making here, is when it comes to borrowing money, it is absolutely true that you can borrow money to purchase an asset and not have to pay taxes on that borrowed money. Think about your car loan, for example. If you finance a car, you are technically getting a loan for the value of their car, but you don't report the value of their loan on your taxes. Why? Because you're paying it back. You are not getting any kind of economical gain for that. So there's nothing to tax. Yes, you're getting the vehicle. Okay. And if you use that vehicle to make income, you can write the interest off on said car note against that income because of it. But in general, you don't include the car, or should I say the car loan on your taxes anywhere because it's paid back money. Same thing here. Another thing that concerns me about the video, again, stating that borrowed money is tax-free money is true, but borrowed money, it's not free money. You got to pay that back. And the question becomes, if you're borrowing all this money, how are you going to pay it back, right? You can't borrow money, or should I say the dangerous game becomes when you borrow money to pay back borrowed money, and then you're going to have to borrow more money to pay back the money that you just borrowed that you paid back the previous borrowed money with. When you start getting to that hole, that becomes very eerily similar to a Ponzi scheme which is illegal, which isn't going to last you long. So here is the thing. If you're going to borrow money to invest in an asset, by all means, that is a beautiful strategy to implement. Do so. You will not pay tax on that borrowed money, but do understand that the money earned from the thing that you just brought with that borrowed money, you're going to pay tax on that. So in all of these things that's trying to make it seem like you can avoid paying taxes, there is something that they're not telling you. And well, that's what your favorite uncle cousin is here for, because I don't want you to have no surprises. So yeah, make sure you follow and subscribe for more truths, that is. See you later.
Perfect.